Imagine standing at a crossroads, where one path leads to everything familiar and comfortable, while the other stretches into the unknown. This was exactly where Abraham found himself thousands of years ago, in a moment that would change history forever. Picture this: Abraham, living a settled life in Ur of the Chaldeans, suddenly hears God's voice. Not just any message, but an extraordinary call to leave everything behind: his home, his people, his comfort zone. God makes what seems like an impossible promise: a new land, countless descendants, and through him, all nations would be blessed. What's remarkable? Abraham was already 75 years old, and he and his wife Sarah had no children. But here's where it gets interesting. Abraham didn't just receive a promise. He had to live it out through some of the most challenging tests of faith imaginable. Imagine waiting year after year for a promised son while your hair grows grayer and hope seems to fade. The waiting wasn't passive. It was filled with struggles, doubts, and moments where Abraham tried to help God's plan along. Then came the ultimate test. After finally receiving Isaac, the son of promise, God asked Abraham to do the unthinkable: sacrifice his own son. Can you imagine the internal turmoil? Everything God had promised seemed to hang on Isaac's life, yet Abraham was willing to trust God even when it made no logical sense. But here's where the story takes a beautiful turn. At every crucial moment, God showed up. When Abraham raised the knife, God provided a ram. When it seemed impossible for Sarah to have a child, God gave them Isaac. When they needed direction in a foreign land, God guided them. Each challenge revealed not just Abraham's faith, but God's unwavering faithfulness. You know what's fascinating? Abraham's journey wasn't just about him. It was pointing to something far greater. His willingness to offer his son foreshadowed another Father who would actually give his son, Jesus Christ, for the salvation of the world. The blessing promised to Abraham would ultimately flow to all nations through Jesus. Today, we stand in our own crossroads moments. Maybe God's asking you to step out in faith, to trust him with your future, your dreams, or your fears. Abraham's story whispers to us across the centuries: God can be trusted even when the path ahead seems unclear. So here's the question that echoes through time. Will you, like Abraham, choose to walk by faith? Will you trust God even when you can't see the whole picture? Remember, the God who was faithful to Abraham is the same God who promises to be faithful to you today.